Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Man's No Bull Beer Reviews. Today I have another beer from Brew Brewing Company out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This is a new beer that they have not made before. This is called Darkstar. See right there, it says Cascadian Dark Ale, which is basically another word for black IPA. It is 7.0 ABV. And this is brewed with Mosaic and Laurel hops. Sometimes they're pretty secretive about what hops go into things, but I guess that's more with their flagships. With these ones, it's a one-off thing, so it really doesn't matter. Anyways, yeah, that's all I know on this. I'm gonna crack it open and see what we got. Like that. And as usual with these Brewtown and growlers, now I will say I hope that I don't have to ever buy these again soon because they're going to be canning soon. But like all the other ones, you open it, there's no hiss at all. It sounds like it might be flat, and then it pours perfectly. You can see it's a pretty dark brown. It's not like completely black like a stout, but it's pretty dark. With a really nice, about a fingers and a half worth of a really fluffy beige head. So I will admit, I'm generally not the biggest fan of Cascadian Dark Ales or Black IPAs. To me, I just don't like the super bitter roast and bitter hops at the same time. To me, it's just too much. Generally, they only seem to work for me if the roast is like very, very held in check, and the hops have like no bitterness, and it's all just like juicy hops. Then it works because it's kind of its own thing. It's not really like a hoppy stout either. So this kind of smells like it might be in that realm because there's a lot of like orange and pineapple character to it, but I do get some roast and like dark chocolate too. But it doesn't seem unbalanced. Like, I'm trying to think of what this actually almost reminds me more of like a hoppy brown ale in aroma than like a hoppy stout. Not that it's technically supposed to be either one. That's interesting. That is delicious. Sorry, I just had to wrap my head around that for a second. So the beginning is basically like no roast at all. It's just a big pineapple-y, slight peachy and like bready IPA. And then mid-palate, there's a big rush of really nice, mellow, like chocolatey roast, but it's not even remotely acrid or bitter at all. And then it finishes with like a light grapefruit kick in the back. It really is like a tale of two beers, which I love when I get something like that from them because they're so good at that. I can't remember what beer it was, but they did I think it was a coffee IPA. And it was exactly the same way where, usually you think those things don't really go together. But somehow they're able to work it where it's almost like you're drinking two distinct beers in one beer. You really get like a nice clean flavor of one of those things and then a nice clean flavor of the other, and it's not just this dirty mashup, and that's really what's going on here. But it's interesting. In general, though, it definitely has less of a roast flavor than it does in the aroma. That is so good. That is so good. And I'm wondering if there's any influence. I don't know. I could be grasping at straws saying this, but I wonder if there's any influence of this from, like, you know, the new brewer that came from Stone, because Stone, that is one thing that I think they are better at than a lot of breweries, is doing black IPA. Some of theirs are actually pretty good. Like that originally Sublimely Righteous or whatever it's called. That was good. And it's kind of, I like this better than most of those, but it still kind of reminds me of something of that ilk, but also like with just the super clean, crisp, hoppy character of a Brew Gentleman beer. I will say too, this is 7%. Other than maybe it being like pretty full bodied, which I would probably, you know, attribute more to the malts used, rather, well, obviously the malts, but even something. I don't know exactly like what darker malts are in this, but there could be something, you know, that gives it like a little creaminess. But also, most of their IPAs are pretty soft too, but they're also really full bodied. And other than that, I would not guess that this is 7%. I'm not really getting any alcohol booze or alcohol kick, so it's, you know, hiding that pretty well too. I only bought this because I don't generally like that style that much. I only bought it because I'm so trusting in Brew Gentlemen that no matter what style they do, you know, at the very worst, it's going to be a solid, pretty good beer. And then, you know, it just goes from there. But that's like the floor for them. And there's not a lot of breweries I can say that about. And I'm definitely glad I took a chance on this because this is absolutely delicious. This was $9 for this growler fill, so $4.50 for a 12-ounce pour. Absolutely worth it. I would definitely buy this again. Do I like it as much as their IPAs? No. But I will say I would definitely order this again because it's a nice change from, you know, from pretty much anything you get at most breweries. Because most black IPAs I don't like that much, and there's really not that many left anymore, to be honest. Not many breweries are doing them. Like the brewed IPAs kind of replaced them, and they're gone now too. I kind of wish they would make this just like every once in a while because it really is an interesting take on one of their IPAs. I'm not sure if it'll really ever be, you know, if the masses will really ever catch on, but I would definitely like to see this again, and I would for sure buy it again. So that's all I got on this one. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks.